Bubinga is a dense African hardwood. It's got some beautiful figure every once in a while. This is actually a figured piece of Bubinga. It's a very dense hardwood. It's hard to work with. Seen in a lot of bass guitars. Sometimes you'll see it in necks. With it being so dense, it's also extremely heavy. It also isn't the easiest wood to work with. Some pieces do have some silica in it, so it actually dulls your blade to some degree. But when you do get some beautiful pieces, you can make some really outstanding guitars in terms of tops. If you seal this with an oil or a lacquer, the figure here really jumps out. You'd almost call this a quilted piece of Bubinga. You can see on this back side here, it's beautiful. It does tear out, the grain does tear out when you get the figured pieces. You can see here, get a little bit of tear out from the planer from where I bought this. But outside of that, it's a really interesting wood to work with. In terms of tap tone, this piece is pretty dense. Get some good ringing. This piece weighs about 10 pounds, it feels like. It's hard to move it. In terms of workability, Bubinga is definitely a harder wood to work with. You'll hear as I drill with the Makita and the 5/8 bit how it strains. So I do get some straining, I do get some smoking here. The bit is extremely hot after using it. So, as long as you know what you're getting into at Bubinga, you gotta make sure you got sharp tools. You got everything fully charged. That will definitely wear down the battery very quickly. It's a hard wood, does dull. If you're gonna make a full solid body guitar out of this, you definitely gotta drill some weight relief holes. For basses, this is definitely a go-to wood for bass guitars because of the thickness and the density. Figured Bubinga is more expensive than non-figured, obviously. This piece here was $61. It's a little bit thick. It's 1 7/8, so versus the 8/4, which is 1 3/4. So there's a little bit more here. The wider widths of the wood, this is 8 inches. A little bit more pricey when you get longer, wider boards. I will use this probably for some tele tops. I'll cut this up on a new blade. I'll also cut probably 1 or 2 3-finger boards out of this because I've got the width. Overall, Bubinga is a very hard wood. It's tough to work with. I would caution the first time luthier using this wood. Will eat your blades. The wood will go. When you're routing and drilling with this wood, be careful because your bits will grab this wood differently than a less dense hardwood. Overall, it's a nice wood. Just got to be